It's the penultimate event of the IAAF World Indoor Tour. There are World Championship places on offer in Torun. A very good evening and welcome from me, John Anderson, for 2 hours of entertainment at the Arena Torun. I'm delighted to have alongside me once again the former Olympian and European and Commonwealth long jump medalist, Jade Johnson.
Well, John, this is the 5th stop on the IAAF World Tour with exactly 2 weeks to go until the World Indoor Championships in Birmingham. This is likely to be one of the last chances for many athletes to put a good performance in. And for a lucky few tonight here in Torun, they can guarantee their place as they are in the running to win the IAAF World Tour Series and receive a wildcard to the World Championships on the 1st to the 4th of March.
Well, this is what we've got coming up for you over the next 2 hours. It starts with a bang. The women's 1,500 metres featuring the world 5,000 metres champion, Helen Evora. The local favourite, Adam Kashot, goes in the men's 800 metres. They'll raise the roof here for that one. There's a classy field in the women's high jump led by the world champion, Maria Lasitskene. And we round it all up with the sprint finals in both hurdles and over flat 60 metres. Well, an expectant crowd in this purpose-built Arena Torun, around 5,000 people here tonight for, as Jade says, the penultimate event of the 6 in this IAAF World Indoor Tour. Well, it all starts with the women's 1,500 metres. And there is the world champion over 5,000 metres, who will be the hot favourite to win this one. She's got some good company. Sofia Inawi is a very useful local runner. And Miraf Bata from Sweden, the Eritrean-born former European champion, also in the field. Last but not least, Helen Obiri, who beat Alma Zayana in London over 5,000 metres. Pacemaker, you can see there, Paula Lapinska-Mikiewicz has been instructed to take them through in less than 4 minutes. So this could be very quick indeed. Athletes being introduced to the crowd. African contingent is strong as ever. There is the African-born Swede, Miraf Bata, 9th in London over 5,000 metres. She set her personal best here in Torun, 4:06:40. Helen Obiri, a mother, a police officer, and one hell of an athlete. It's her first sortie indoors this season, and the crowd delighted to see her in action. First track event of the evening underway then, and all eyes will be on Obiri. You can see her there towards the left of your picture in the background at the moment as the pacemaker takes them through what will be 7.5 or the 15 laps of the track. Obiri is tucked in at the moment. She wants a fast pace, she wants a good time. Of course, we saw Genzebe Barber magnificent in Karlsruhe a few days ago with the second fastest indoor 1500 meters run of all time.
And John, apparently Obiri hasn't competed in this distance since 2014, and she said she just wants to do it to get some speed in her legs before the World Championships when she tackles a better distance, the 3000.
Yeah, it's certainly an opportunity for her to show the kind of finishing that she produced in London when she blew away Al Mazayana with some 300 meters to go in the World Championships to lift the title there. She's currently in 4th place if you discount the pacemaker. Sofia Enaoui is the first of the elite runners, but they're beginning to get stretched out a little bit here with 5 laps to go. Obiri with that ponytail flapping away is looking very, very comfortable.
Yeah, and if you look at this track compared to some of the other tracks we've seen over this World Tour, this is a lovely track. The banks are much less steep. It feels much bigger. It actually feels like more like a 400-meter track, so I think it will really work well for the distance runners.
Yes, it was home straights, long and narrow, with tight bends in Dusseldorf. It's rather different here. Obiri, who won a silver medal in Poland in Sopot indoors in the World Championships 4 years ago, has just moved up onto the shoulder of the leading runner Enaoui and looks as if she's timing her burst to perfection. The pacemaker Mikiewicz just looks behind her. We're going to be checking to see whether this will go under 4 minutes as Obiri has planned. And the 29-year-old Kenyan Olympic Games silver medalist in Rio is now where she wants to be, at the head of the field. There are 3 laps to go as the pacemaker gives way. Her job done. Obiri still to do, and now he is still in 2nd place behind Helen Obiri, with field beginning to become a little bit stretched. Some Africans just behind her. The 2nd place has now been taken by an African, Rabab Arafi. And Obiri is running the race she wants to run at the moment. 2 laps left, Obiri leads. Arafi is still in 2nd place, and Tshela, another of the Africans representing Ethiopia, is currently 3rd.
It must be really exciting, actually, to be running for the first time in 4 years a distance that, you know, you're not sure about. So to come here, it must be something she's doing to get ready for the World Championship. A little bit of a different preparation, and maybe just getting, like you said, that speed in her legs and see how she goes.
Well, she's going pretty well at the moment as they approach the bell, although, well, the lead has changed, and it's Tshela who's gone out in front. Obiri is looking to respond. We've got 150 meters left to go, and Baye taking it on now with Obiri battling hard, and they're making it difficult for her because it's Arafi who's gone out in front. Can Obiri get through? She's boxed in. Arafi, I think, is going to take it. That's a big win for her. Helen Obiri trailing in 3rd place. That is a fantastic run by Arafi, who is the surprise winner. So on the first event of the evening, the hot favourite doesn't look in great shape.
Well, you know, she hasn't run for 4 years, so sometimes you go on your training, and training is totally different than competition. So she's probably been putting some really, really good times down in training. And obviously, I think she's really concentrating on the 3K for the World Championships. So this was just to see where she was at. She was struggling down that home straight, head was rocking and rolling, shoulders were all over the place, you know, but this was a good test for her. This will now let her regroup and come back in 2 weeks for the Worlds.
Great run by Rabab Arafi, who came home in 4:04.76. In 2nd place was Meraf Bata, representing Sweden, the Eritrean-born runner, but look at the smile on the face of the winner. Well, plenty for Obiri to think about. Crowd enjoyed that opener. Perhaps didn't get the result they expected, but as Jade says, it's early days for Helena Beery in terms of working on her speed, but she didn't look in great shape there, I must say. Disappointed after winning in London. There's confirmation of the winner, Rabab Arafi representing Morocco, 4:04.76. Merab Bata came up strongly in the home straight to take second, and Beery, the World 5,000 metre champion, had to settle for third in a time of 4:05.04. Completes the results in the women's 1500. The crowd are applauding because the pole vault is currently underway. So too is the shot put.
And John, I have to say, what an amazing crowd and stadium this is. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Birmingham, so it's given the athletes a little bit of a heads up of what to expect in a few weeks' time.
Well, the shot put competition was completed a few moments ago. In third place was Paul Mikhail Haratic, who held the meeting record. His best effort, a throw of 21 metres and 12 centimetres. That his fifth attempt. He finished third. Thomas Stanek has dominated the World Indoor Tour event. He was second in 21 metres place here, but he is top of the pile in the World Indoor Tour and wins the top prize. But this was a huge throw by the local man, Konrad Bukiewicz. 22 metres. He's delighted. It's a personal best indoors for him. He can't believe it. And he's won the shot put in front of an adoring crowd. There's the confirmation. 22 exactly for Konrad Bukiewicz. Terrific competition. Thomas Stanek won the World Indoor Tour overall. Mikhail Haratic ensuring 2 poles were in the top 3, and the World Championship silver medalist David Stahl from Germany could only manage 4th place. Well, we've got a terrific pole vault competition, some of the really big names in the sport. And this is Pavel Wojciechowski. He's failed one attempt at 5 meters 50. The Pole, who was third in Karlsruhe in the opener of these IAAF World Indoor Tour events. Here he goes. And that's much better. That is much, much better from from Pavel Wojciechowski.
Yeah, that was a much better attempt from Pavel. He's actually, just competed a few days ago on the 11th of February and did a season's best of 5:78. So, and he was in Dusseldorf, Karlsruhe. They have been very, very busy boys, and yet still vaulting pretty well. That was a really good attempt over that bar. 550, he's definitely got more in him.
He will be disappointed, I think, to have failed the first attempt, because everybody else has gone clear, other than Augusto Dutra, the Brazilian, who had 3 failures at 5:30 and is already out of the competition. So there are 7 vaulters left. Among them, Piotr Lisek, who is the World Indoor Tour leader with 17 points, winner in Dusseldorf and second in Madrid.
Yes, I have to say, the pole vault is my new event crush, John. I have to say, I very much like it. Speaking to some of these guys over the last few competitions, it's a really, really interesting event, extremely technical, but you know, I think if I wasn't a long jumper, maybe I could have been a pole vaulter.
Oh. Never too late to start.
Yeah, definitely. At 37, definitely too late.
This is Karol Pawlik, representing the Polish nation. And that's a failure for him. Pawlik disappointed. Bar coming down at 5 meters 60. But he will have 2 more attempts. There are 5 more who've cleared the previous height. That was the first attempt of the competition at 560 and a failed attempt by Karol Pawlik, whose personal best is 550, so he'll be pleased if he can get over this height because it would be a new landmark for him.
Well, he's only got a season's best of 546, so he's already improved his season's best. So, you know, this year he's done his best. Let's see if he can go higher tonight. It's actually an amazing competition for these pole vaulters.
It's been terrific throughout this World Indoor Tour, the pole vault. I think, you know, if you had to pick a field event, it's been probably the highlight of it. It's been fantastic. We have got a very, very good quality women's high jump coming up for you, by the way. But the focus at the moment is on the pole vault. Here goes Emanuel Karalis of Greece, whose compatriot Konstantinos Philippidis is also involved. This is his attempt at 560. Oh, well, he got the height and then he came down on the bar.
He got great height over that bar. You know, he has just, not too long ago, a few days ago, I think at the Greek trials, got the world junior record. I think he's still only 18 or 19 years old, and he jumped 578, ranks him in the top 8 this year indoors at 17, or is he 18 years old?
He's 18, he turned 18 in October, so he is a youngster. Well, he got the height correct, but the technique wasn't good enough to get him over.
I think it was more that it looked really good. I think he just came down on it, so he's probably going to make a few adjustments with his coach. They know, like I said, very technical, so they'll know what to do, and he'll probably get over this height on the next attempt.
Paweł Wojciechowski is next, 5th at the pole vault outdoors at the London World Championships last year. Bronze medalist 2 years previously to that in Beijing, a accolade which he shared with his friend and fellow competitor tonight, Piotr Lisek. He's cleared 550, albeit at the second attempt. We've had 2 failures at 560 from Karalis and Pawlik, and then it will be Wojciechowski to attempt this height.
It's interesting, you see all the athletes in the pole vault using different methods to get their grip. Paweł uses chalk. Some people use some sticky type of glue just so that their grip is really good.
Here he goes. That's a lovely vault. That's a lovely vault, and the crowd enjoyed it too.
Yeah, I think he was very, very happy with that. It looked a lot smoother to me, and the whole jump just came together. It wasn't so kind of jerky like the last jump. It just didn't seem to come together. Very smooth, really, really nice over the bar. Got lots more to come.
Yeah, that was very, very good from Wojciechowski, and the crowd were very appreciative of it.
I kolejna konkurencja techniczna skok wzwyż kobiet.
Well, the high jump should be a terrific competition. We've got a really high quality field. We've got the world champion, Maria Lasitskene. We've got the silver medalist from London, Yulia Levchenko, and Katarina Tabashik, who's also jumped well this season.
Yeah,
It's
that 204.
level.
Oh, sorry, John. That 204 jump was apparently the best jump in 6 years indoors. So very, very high class jumping from Levchenko.
Oh, there's a full start there on the entrance from Alexandra Novakovska. She'll be hoping it goes rather better in the event itself, but Levchenko is clearly going to be the woman to beat. She's won 35 consecutive competitions. Erika Kinsey, though, is level with her on 10 points at the top of the World Indoor Tour rankings. She was the winner in Boston. Katarina Tabashnik was third in Karlsruhe with a jump of 1.92 meters, the former heptathlete. Laverne Spencer is fourth in the current rankings after earning that place in Karlsruhe. And this is the woman they've all come to see. Apart from Levchenko, she's the main draw. So Levchenko, the last one out for the women's high jump. She's won 35 consecutive high jump competitions. So there they are. You can see that Levchenko is a good distance better in terms of a personal best than the rest of the field. She's jumped 2:04 this year. She won a competition in Moscow just 2 days ago. Levchenko will be hoping, and Laverne Spencer and Tabashnik, to pick up World Indoor Tour points, which of course will go towards a $20,000 prize and a wild card for the World Indoor Championships, which start in Birmingham in the United Kingdom on the first day of March. Meanwhile, we've got the men's 60 meters. Those are the runners of riders. Andrew Fisher of Bahrain and Gavin Smelly of Canada, the two in the center. That's the view from the finish line back to the start line. The crowd have been very, very appreciative of all the competitors so far. And this will be the first of two heats. The best three finishers will qualify, plus the two fastest losers. So there isn't too much margin for error. Gavin Smelly of Canada is a formidable relay man. His personal best is 6.57 seconds. Best this season of 6.62. This is an event, of course, that's entered a new era with Christian Coleman breaking the world record in the United States in January, lowering Maurice Green's previous best mark to 6.37 seconds in sensational style. Kim Collins, the evergreen sprinter from St. Kitts and Nevis, is in the next heat. This is Przemysław Kozłowski, representing the home nation Poland. Karol Kwiatowski is another Pole in lane 8. His personal best 6.84, which he set this year. Piotr Mitka, another Pole. There's another who's been lowering his own standards in terms of times recently, 6.81. Vladislav Chepurny of Ukraine will be in lane 7. There's the Canadian, Gavin Smelly. 31 years of age now. He's been there and seen it all in the sport, but still enjoying it at the highest level. And Andrew Fisher representing Bahrain. He has the best, but one personal best in this field, 6:57. So the first heat of the men's 60 meters. Lane 4 is empty. No Ben Yusuf Mete of the Ivory Coast. He's a useful competitor, so it'll make life easier for the remaining 7. Well, there's a faulty start there. There was a delay. The gun didn't come. Clearly, there's some sort of problem with the gun mechanism. They were twitching, and then there was no fire from that piece of equipment, so that'll have to be sorted out. This doesn't help, does it?
No, but you can, even before the long pause, I think there's a little bit of noise in the stadium, and I think they were a bit twitchy because of that.
Yeah. You might have seen the official there with a green card. That means that there was a faulty start, but no one was to blame. And so we will try again. Smelly in lane 5, Fisher in lane 6 will be the men to watch lining up together there in the centre in blue and orange. Away this time properly, and Smelly has got away pretty well, but coming through very strongly indeed is Fisher. That's a terrific run by him, 6:72.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that was the best standard. 6:72's okay, but when you think about Coleman, 6:37, the difference, you know, it's okay for this, but I think that, to be honest, it doesn't also help to have a gap in lane, what, I think it was lane 2, did you say?
4.
Lane 4. It doesn't help the athletes to kind of get into that competitive spirit.
Well, Fisher ran well, albeit with a relatively slow time. Smelly was second, the winning time 6:69, 6:80 for Smelly. Piotr Mitka of Poland also qualified.
And I'm quite shocked, actually, because there was a lot of noise going on right at the start that they didn't stop the race.
Yeah, there was a lot of noise because there was a pole vault attempt going on just before the start of that particular heat. We've got one more to come.
Nice to see they didn't actually stop the field events for once.
The pain of your life, isn't it? Having to stand there while the... Here's the official result. Andrew Fisher in 6:69, rounded down by 200. Gavin Smelly second, and the Poles will have at least one man in the final, Mitka in third. Back to the pole vault. It's Wojciechowski, who has gone over previously and will now make another attempt. This is 5 meters 70 for the Polish athlete. He's picked up points in Madrid, just missed out in Dusseldorf. 5 meters 70 was the best he achieved there, only good enough for 5th. Although he was 3rd in Karlsruhe as well. Here he goes. It's not quite there, is it? He's had a couple of failures.
You know, to me, from when we look back to Karlsruhe to now, he looks a little tired. I think there's so many competitions in such a short time, and there's a lot of traveling as well. So I think that, you know, just for me, the last few strides into the plant, where he planted into the box, it just wasn't as aggressive, and he didn't attack it as you would have seen him in previous competitions when he's very, very sharp.
Karol Pawlik, incidentally, went out at 5 meters 60, so we have 6 competitors remaining in the pole vault. Wojciechowski, along with Emmanuel Carales, have failed their first attempts at 5 meters 70. Next, we will have Shawn Barber, the Canadian former world champion who passed at 560. Barber was disappointing in Karlsruhe. He only managed 5th, 6th in Dusseldorf. He hasn't gone higher than 5 meters 70 in this World Indoor Tour so far.
Actually, John, I think a few days ago he jumped 578 in a competition in Poland. I think it was on the 11th.
Yes.
So he's actually got up in the top 8 in the world with that 578 jump.
Yeah, but he hasn't managed a point yet on the World Indoor Tour.
No.
Here he comes then. It's his first attempt at 5 meters 70. Ooh, just. He thought for a moment it might come down with him, but it stayed up there.
Yeah, he crept over that bar. To me, actually, he looks really much more confident than the last meet we saw him in Dusseldorf. A lot smoother. He crept over the bar, but I think he's got more to come tonight.
It's a little fortunate there because it was more than just a brush. Great view of it there from the camera on the top of the stanchion.
He kind of went into it, but his actual height over it was not too bad. I think he's just going to probably make a few adjustments and then won't come down on the bar as much.
Well, the pole vault is in full swing now. And next up is the man who leads the World Indoor Tour with 17 points. He won the competition in Dusseldorf with 7 meters 86, beating the world champion Sam Kendricks and ending his long run of success. He was second Lisek in Madrid, and he looks in really, really good shape at the moment. Wants the help of the crowd, which he'll get. No, but he didn't get it right at all. He launched straight into the bar, and red flag was the result.
His run-up actually looked quite lopey. His strides look quite lopey. Usually you see him a lot more speedy, so his foot contact is a lot quicker on the ground. I was watching thinking, oh, it looks nice, but it looked like it pushed him over his mark, and therefore he went straight into that bar.
There is the lineup for the second heat of the men's 60 meters. Kim Collins, of course, the best known name, 41-year-old from St Kitts and Nevis, the world champion in Paris way back in 2003. Sydney Siam representing Zambia. He's run 7:04. That was a couple of years ago. Hasn't competed yet indoors this season, so chance for him to get his campaign up and running. In lane 7 is Maciej Brzezinski from Poland. His personal best set this season was 6.80. Ryan Shields is a Jamaican, where, as we know, sprinting is second nature. And Jan Volko, representing Slovakia, is next to the man who will get a huge cheer, I'm sure, Kim Collins. Somewhat cryptically made a tweet recently suggesting this might be his last season, although I understand it might not be now. We'll have to wait and see, get the impression he'll go on forever.
Well, apparently he said that it might be he just doesn't do outdoors, just indoors.
Watch this space. Under starters orders then, or almost, for the second heat. 3 to qualify by rights, 2 to qualify via times. Lane 5 is empty. Away they go. Great start by Collins, but Volko's coming through well. This is a very, very strong run by Volko, who wins it quite comfortably. Shields, I think, got second. Winning time unofficially 6.62, but that's a really good run by the Slovakian, who led from start to finish.
Yeah, that was a good one. I was just, sorry, my attention was on Kim, because he got out really extremely well. but then just seemed to pop up after about 20 metres, and he looked uncomfortable. And if you look, he looks like he's got a strapping on his left leg, so maybe he's got a hamstring. He's been running all over the place, basically, this indoor season, so maybe he's just done a little bit too much.
Well, at 41 years old, you talked about, you know, you being 37 too old for the pole. This guy's still running at the top. It is incredible. I mean, I know we always say it whenever we see him, but it is absolutely astonishing what he's achieving, regardless of his places and his times. Just the fact that he's there in this level.
He said to me at the last competition that we were at that it was the merengue seed, apparently, is his secret.
Is it? I must
Apparently
get
it's
hold of some.
It's a superfood.
Well, we've got the pole vault continuing in the meantime. And this is the teenager from Greece, Emanueli Karalis. Clearly enjoying himself, tends to compete with a smile on his face, despite the serious business of trying to get over at 5 meters 70. This is his second attempt at that height. And once again, he's executed it just wrong. He's frustrated because he got the height beautifully, but then couldn't negotiate the bar.
Well, actually, I feel like he executed it pretty good. He just came down on the bar. You see, like you said, he's got the height. His first 3 strides, which are really, really important in triple jump, long jump, pole vault, these first 3 strides were really nice. I thought, oh, this is very nice. Really nice knee lift on the runway. Looked very smooth. Just came down on that bar.
Yeah, it was almost identical to the first attempt. He's failed 2. Meanwhile, in the high jump, we have Laverne Spencer, who's currently 4th on the World Indoor Tour. That's a error, so the bar comes down there for her.
Yeah, I think these high jumpers are feeling this track set up for them particularly is a little bit tough. They had the men's shot put going on. They've got the 60 metres. They have to come across the 60-metre track. And I think it was just a little bit frustrating for them at the time.
Here's Yulia Levchenko. She's over, no problem at all. That's a beautiful jump, 1 meter 80 for the World Championship silver medalist from London.
Very smooth, really nice jump. The thing is, this is a mental game as well, so it's which athlete can block out all of the distractions and still concentrate on what they do.
Event on the track is the women's 800 meters. There'll be big support for Angelika Sichocka. We saw her in earlier competitions in the World Indoor Tour over 1500 meters. She's a World Championship final at both 1500 and 800. Selina Bushell will be another contender. Hannah Hamilton of Sweden is useful, and we have Adele Tracy from Great Britain as well. She's run 2:04.90 this season. Hedda Hina of Norway is another 2:04 runner. Cynthia Elwood will get the support of the home crowd. She's one of 5 poles in this competition. There is Hermansen. She was a semi-finalist in London last summer, set a personal best this year in New York of 2:02.80. So she's in good form. Next to her is Anna Sabat of Poland, and Selina Bushell between them. She was run 2:02.58 this year. There is Sabat. A little bit off the pace in terms of 2018 at the moment, but this is the lady that we'll come to see. Angelika Sichocka, World Indoor Championship silver medalist in 2014. Finished 6th in the 800 meters in London, outdoors in the World Championships. Ola Lyakova representing Ukraine. Her personal best is 2:00.92. Finally, Anna Dobek of Poland. Well, 4 laps of the track on this 200-meter circuit. Levchenko, a distinctive figure with the blonde hair, just tucked in at the back at the moment as Dobek, one of her Polish teammates, goes to the front quite hard in front of Likova. Third at the moment is Hannah Hin of Norway. Let's see when Levchenko makes her move. She does tend to come late. She finished second in the 1500 meters in Düsseldorf behind Beatrice Chepkoech with a very, very late run. She was a disappointing 5th in Karlsruhe. Leader is still Anna Dobek, the 21-year-old Pole. Hasn't run this season as yet. 2 laps to go in the women's 800 meters and not much change at the moment. Dobek is leading at the moment. Hin occupying 2nd place.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Levchenko hasn't competed in the 800 indoors for 3 years. And I think a few days ago, she ran a PB of 2 minutes and 2 minutes, .76.
They take the bell and we have a race on our hands. It's Selina Buchel leading from Angelika Levchenko. The crowd are roaring the pole on, but Buchel, representing Switzerland, is holding her off at the moment. It's going to be a great finish between these two. Levchenko makes her move now, and Buchel is going backwards. At the moment, the 2nd place is Liakova of Ukraine, but it's Angelika Levchenko coming through. I think she's going to hold it off and win. That's a hugely popular win for the Polish crowd. Angelika Levchenko wins it from Olha Liakova, and that was another very good late run by, well, a runner who does most of her work in the second half of these races.
Well, I think that 1500 meter strength really comes through at that last part of the race. I mean, a few days ago, I think on the 13th of February, she ran 2 minutes 70. So this is 2 minutes and 76. Is that correct? She just ran? Yes. And so she's strong. She's got that strength in her. And obviously, she's got the speed too.
Meanwhile, in the pole vault, we have a clearance there. And that's Lisek, who's gone over at 5 meters 70. A man who's in terrific form, leads the rankings in this World Indoor Tour competition, and he's over at 5 meters 70. Levchenko has the bouquet and the garlands after a terrific win. Buchel just couldn't live with her at this point. 100 meters to go. Levchenko comes past. Buchel can't respond. Likahova does, but not quite enough.
I wonder what she's going to run at the World Indoors. If it's going to be the 8 or the 15, because she's been running much more 15s, but 2 minutes is a really good time for an indoor 800.
Well, she may double up as she did in the World Championships, where, of course, she reached the final in both. Finished 6th in the 800 meters, which is the race she's just won here. Buchel came in for 3rd place.
And I think she's ranked number 4 on the world list at the moment with that 2-minute run.
Crowd enjoyed that with another Polish victory. Here's the world champion in the high jump, Levchenko. And she is very, very comfortably over at 1 meter 85. Cool as you like from a double world champion, was gold medalist in Beijing as well.
When you've jumped 204, 185 is like a stroll in the park, to be honest. So, yeah, I don't think that troubled her too much.
Next to go is Kinsey, winner in Boston, and she's clear as well at 1 meter 85. The Swede, that was an easy one for her as well. So the big guns in the high jump are going well at the moment. Meanwhile, on the pole vault run-up, we have a little bit of pressure on the Polish vaulter, Paweł Wojciechowski. He's had 2 failures at 5 meters 70, so this is his last chance. And he's blown it, so he's out. That's disappointment for him, and you can see how disappointed he is in front of a home crowd to have bowed out so early.
I actually thought he was going to stop. His first stride, his first step was really low. His hips dropped, and if you've got a pole in your hand, you cannot, once you get to the bar, improve your hip position. You need to set those hips up in the first few strides. He dropped his hip. I thought he was going to stop, but he thought he could carry on.
Next up, having seen a Polish win in the 800 meters women, we have the 800 meters men, where Adam Kschot is the hot favorite in every sense of the word, expected to win, and the man that the Polish crowd will be roaring on. The double world championship silver medalist leads the field in this 800 meters. Elliot Giles, representing Great Britain, has run a personal best this year. Mateusz Borkowski is a compatriot of Kschot. There are 2 Poles in this race and a Polish pacemaker as well. Jan Kubista is from the Czech Republic. Personal best for him this year as well. Andreas Buba of Denmark. And then to his right is Andreas Kramer of Sweden, who was 5th fastest in Düsseldorf after coming 2nd in his race. Nicholas Kipkoech was 6th in Karlsruhe, 2nd fastest runner though in Düsseldorf. He set his personal best here in Torun. This is the man they'll be expecting to win, and listen to the roar for Adam Kschot. Won a silver medal in Sopot in Poland indoors in the World Championships 4 years ago. And Jakub Augustiniak is the man trusted with the pacemaking to try and take Kschot through quickly. Kschot's personal best time, 1 minute 44.57. So there'll be plenty of noise inside this beautiful arena, the Arena Torun. Adam Kschot in the top of your picture there, just to the left. Augustiniak. Kramer has gone off quickly with that long hair flowing behind him. Kschot is just tucked in fairly cautiously at the moment, with Borkowski in 2nd behind Kramer at the moment. Kschot has got a reputation for being a latecomer, as we've seen many times in the past. He's a bronze medalist and a silver medalist at former World Indoor Championships. Kramer has gone off really hard, the Swede. Borowski is also there, and behind him is Kubista. Crowd are responding, but Kschot hasn't made his move as yet. He's a long way back at the moment, some 15 meters, and the pacemaker has dropped away. Kramer is still in the lead. Very strong run by Kipkoech now, who's come up hard towards Kramer as they enter the home straight for the penultimate time. Kschot is still a long, long way back as Kramer takes the belt. Kipkoech is in 2nd place at the moment, the Kenyan, and Kschot is now making his move. It's a very, very late burst by Adam Kschot, but he looks as if he might just have timed it right. He's on the shoulder of Kipkoech. Now he's on the shoulder of Kramer as well, and Adam Kschot delights the home crowd with a late run to victory. Kramer third. What a final lap in front of the home crowd in Torun for Adam Kishot.
Wow, honestly, I thought, oh, maybe he's done a few too many races. I think he was playing with us, John. I think he wanted everyone to think that he wasn't going to win, and yet he came through in the last little bit and made it look really, really easy. I think he was going to do like a little dance before he crossed the line, how far he won that competition.
Well, he certainly waltzed past the rest of the field in the final 50 metres. Look at this for a late run. Kipkoech had given everything, got up onto the shoulder of Kramer, managed to get past him, but by that time Kishot was home and dry. And in the city where the great astronomer Copernicus was born, the man who formulated the theory that the Earth rotates around the sun, it is Adam Kishot of Poland who is the centre of attention here at the Arena Torun.
Oh, John, you're so smooth.
Well, I had to get some sort of Copernicus reference in. We had a trip around the town yesterday. Beautiful, beautiful medieval town. There's a statue of Copernicus in one of the squares. They're very proud of their history here, and this man's making history for them. And
I think you're right. He is absolutely the centre of attention. He's loving the attention, and the crowd are giving him what he wants.
Meanwhile, we have a pole vault competition which is still in full flow. This is Pedis with his final attempt at 5 metres 70, and the bar has gone. Wow.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised actually, because we had a good conversation on the 2.5-hour journey from the airport yesterday, you know, with him and his coach, and he was in good shape, he was in a good mood, he had just had a really good competition. I think he jumped 586,
yes.
So he's in good shape. He's maybe just a little tired, as I keep saying.
Well, here's Braz, the Olympic champion from Brazil, attempting 5 metres 70. He didn't register a height in Karlsruhe. And he's gone out here. He had an injury-wrecked season in 2017, the reigning champion from Rio, but he's not quite at his best now. Meanwhile, Shawn Barber is in good form. He has cleared 5 metres 70 already. So he is now attempting 5 metres 78. He's improved his form from the opening competitions in this tour. Can he go clear 8 centimetres further? Not this time, no.
No, I mean, I feel like it must be quite difficult sometimes when you see in everyone. 570 seems like it was a little bit too much for most of these competitors, so he's kind of out there now on his own.
Barely pause for breath with competitions coming thick and fast at the Arena Torun. The next up will be the men's triple jump with a good quality field to entertain the crowd. Here they come. First up is Adrian Świderski representing Poland. Personal best of 16 metres 75. He's nowhere near that this season, 16.15. Karol Hoffman is another Pole. His personal best 16.89. Max Hess we've seen in this series in his native Germany. Christian Napoles is a Cuban rising star, 19 years old. He was 4th in the World Championships in London at 18, missed a medal by only 4 centimetres. Alex Six Capello is also a very, very competent jumper representing Azerbaijan, having switched from Cuba, former World Championship bronze medal. And Nelson Evora, born in the Ivory Coast but representing Portugal, 2nd in Madrid with 17 metres 30, the Olympic champion from Beijing in 2008 and a former World Championship gold medalist as well. Back in the pole vault, here's Piotr Lisek, who passed it 5.78, and he's now attempting 5.85, so slight gamble perhaps, but he's in good form and has reason to be confident. The crowd will get behind him, of course. But no, that was executed wrongly.
Yeah, he just doesn't look as sharp to me as I've seen him. His feet are a little bit floppy. They're usually much tighter, much more dynamic on the ground. The front end, meaning the first few strides, are not as forceful as I've seen him also. So I think that will give you the momentum into the box when you plant the pole and get you over the bar. He knew it wasn't right from the beginning.
So Lisek has failed at 5.85. Shawn Barber was over at 5.70. Back at the high jump, this is a final attempt for the Polish jumper. Kołakowska at 1.90 m, and the bars come down, so she's disappointed in front of a home crowd. You see there the three crosses underneath 1.90 m.
It wasn't a bad attempt. I just think it was maybe a little bit obviously too much for her today.
Let's stay with the high jump because Katarina Tabashnik is next to jump. She's knocked it over as well. So Tabashnik third in Karlsruhe. Set personal best of 1.92 there.
I have to say I love her pink socks. It looks like in the pole vault as well, they've actually passed 85 and gone to 91. They've both, Shawn and Lisek Shawn Barber and Lisek have all both had a failure at 5.91.
Yes, they've passed at 5.85 and they're both attempting 5.91. They're the two men left standing in the competition. Shawn Barber, the former world champion, better known as Shawn, of course. I was giving him his full name there. He comes up at 5.91 m. Not quite over, but worthy effort. Next up on the track, it's the first of two races in the women's 400 meters. This is but for one competitor, an all-Polish affair. Iveta Putalova representing Slovakia. There is the Slovakian. Personal best of 52.84 set 3 years ago. She's run 53.14 this year. Dominika Morek, 21-year-old Pole, merging through their system. Małgorzata Hołub is a 52.60 competitor, but has only run 54 this year, and this will be the favourite, probably, Nicoleta Misterka, 19-year-old, who's also a useful 100 and 200 metre runner. Just the four in this first race. It's all about times rather than positions in the 400 metres. So away they go in lane two. Morek got up fairly quickly, and Holub's going well also on the shoulder of Misterka over in lane 5. And it's Holub who's gone out in front, but not for long, because Putalova, the lone Slovakian in a field of Poles, is vying for position. But at the bell, with 200 meters to go, it is Holub who leads for Poland. The Slovakian Putalova in second place at the moment. And it looks like a race between those two. Morek is third, with Misteka left behind. Holub still trying to hold off Putalova as they come into the final straight. Has Putalova got what it takes maybe to sneak it on the inside? I think she has. It's a good win by the Slovakian, who came in on the inside leg, Putalova. And Holub has to settle for second place in the 400 meters first race.
Well, I think if you look at the season's best, 53.1 was her best, and I think that was the fastest in the field, so it kind of went to the rule books.
Yep, Evora Putalova disappoints the Poles. Talking of Poles, here is Piotr Lisek with a pole in his hands, and a pole in Poland looking to clear at 5 meters 91. Oh yes, magnificent from Lisek. Listen to the crowd. Superb form by the main man, as far as they're concerned, and he's lapping up the applause, and rightly so. Brilliant.
I actually could tell from the first few strides, the running was so much better. It had a lot more urgency to it. He attacked the runway so much better. He looked like he knew he needed this. This is probably one of the last competitions they will do before the World Championships. That's why they miss these heights. They want to attempt heights that they know they will need to win medals at the World Indoors. That was a very good attempt. And now he's gone into the number one on the world lead, above Levchenko and Braz, who jumped 5.90 a few days ago.
Yeah, Braz has gone out, but Lisek has cleared at 5.91. Look at the smile, says everything about how he feels to be performing like that in front of a home crowd. Sporting congratulations from Shawn Barber too. That's his coach there, who's still issuing instructions. Must have been pretty pleased with the last vault. Shawn Barber, follow that. Well, Barber was a world champion in Beijing, so Lisek knows he's got big competition if he is going to win this competition, but he's going to be the clear winner of the World Indoor Tour unless Barber can produce something. Lisek looks as if he's nailed on anyway. Even second place would be enough. So the pressure's off him to a degree, but Barber's trying to get the Polish crowd going. To be fair to the crowd, they'll support him almost as much as they'll support their own man. It's Shawn Barber's final attempt at 5 meters 91. Concentration from the Canadian. He's got it tangled between his legs there, and well, that means that Piotr Lisek has delighted the Polish crowd, who've seen him win with 5 meters 91.
In the middle of that runway, he backed off. He knew he wasn't feeling it. But this is the type of competition that you want to try these heights. I think that for him, this was an attempt to see where he's at. They will go back, they will look at it, and then he will at least know what it feels like before 2 weeks' time at the World Championships indoors.
Great camaraderie amongst the pole vaulters. Anywhere you go in the world, they're like a family, really. And Barber is congratulating Lisek on another win. Lisek has got 27 points on the World Indoor Tour. He's good enough for first place in the pole vault. Confirmation of the first race in the 400 meters won by Evora Putalova, the only non-pole, coming home in 52.62, 700ths ahead of Małgorzata Holub, with Morek and Misteka rather distant, third and fourth. So this is the start list for the second of the two races. Lea Sprunger, representing Switzerland, will be hotly tipped here. Anita Horvath of Slovenia is also a useful two-lap runner indoors. So there is Anita Horvath representing Hungary. There is Patrycja Wiciszkiewski of Poland. Leah Sprunger is outside her, 27-year-old who won the event in Karlsruhe and Madrid, so she's a big performer in this World Indoor Tour. Justyna Świecie is a Polish legend. She was part of the four that won the bronze medal in the 4x400 meters relay in London last summer. So 4 competitors lining up for away they go in the second 400 meters race, and Sprunger already is right up on the shoulder of Świecie. Those are the main two. Sprunger, the taller figure, Horvath on the inside. Sprunger at the moment is holding off the challenge of Świecie, and no reaction really from Anita Horvath so far as they come into the final 200 meters, and the long, rangy, long-legged figure of Leah Sprunger has carved out a bit of a gap between herself and Justyna Świecie. This looks like a very, very competent run. She looks like she's going to add another 10 points. It's going to be a 3rd World Indoor Championship win for Leah Sprunger, and doesn't she make it look easy? It's a comfortable win in 51.28 seconds. Świecie, representing Poland, was second, and as in the first race, 3rd and 4th were distant. Sprunger relaxes after a very, very good 2 laps. Here is Nelson Evora in the triple jump. It's his first round jump. Let's see if he can start with a bang.
You know, it looked quite competent. You know, nothing too sparky for me at the moment. 16:59. He just recently jumped 17:30, so he's in really good shape, and that's the best he's jumped in 10 years, and it's only 3 centimeters off of his national indoor record. So, you know, as you see there, he looks like he collapsed a little bit into his jump phase. When you look at the hip, you see all that force going through that leg, and it just collapsed a little bit. You have to get off the floor as quick as possible and not let all your strength, I guess, absorb into the floor. React out of it, and it keeps the speed going through all the 3 phases.
Well, he was second in Madrid, where he was beaten by Almir dos Santos of Brazil, who jumped 7 meters 35. That jump, incidentally, for Evora, 16 meters 59. Meanwhile, Piotr Lisek is quite simply in a class of his own at the moment in the pole vault, and he's going for even greater heights. 6 meters and 1 centimeter. That would be a personal best for the man who became the 10th only ever to join the 6-meter club in the pole vault. This could be a big, big moment in Torun.
And if he can get this, this would be the equivalent to jumping over the head of an adult male giraffe. That's how tall they are, about 6 meters. So,
incredible.
Yes.
Can he do it, though? The familiar scream as he attacks the board. No, not quite right. It's never been as high as this ever. It would be a personal best. The coach is slightly cautious, and Lisek will have 2 more attempts at 6 meters and 1 centimeter.
Seemed a little bit sloppy on the first stride, but the middle part of his runway is so much tighter than it was in the first few attempts in the earlier heights. I do love that scream.
Yes.
It shows the commitment.
It does.
No, this is a mental thing. When you've never, ever attempted a height before, I'm sure he's attempted it, but when you know you haven't cleared that height, you have to get over the mental barriers.
was interesting as we saw there, as he went up, there was a grimace on his face. It kind of told you everything you needed to know, really.
Yeah, he knew it wasn't right.
Well, he's got 2 more attempts. The crowd will go ballistic. The roof will come off if he goes over at 6:01.
Like I said, this is just really good kind of preparation for a few weeks, because then he knows at least a few weeks ago he attempted 6:01. So when it comes to the World Indoors, he won't be as scared, and mentally he'll be a lot more prepared. To be honest, this pole vault competition was a little bit disappointing for me in terms of all the heights and the clearances, but hopefully he can jump 6:01.
Well, the pole vault has been very entertaining, and the high jump is developing that way. We only have 2 women left in the event. They are the 2 you would expect. The world champion, Yuliya Levchenko, and the athlete she beat in London to silver, Yulia Levchenko. They've both gone over at 1.93 meters, and this is going to be Levchenko's attempt at 1.95 meters.
Yeah, she looked like she was just waiting for Nelson Evora to go in the background, because she does not want to be distracted with the crowd and the clapping. So now she's ready. Now Nelson's had his jump in the background.
Straightens her hair before a first attempt at 1.95 meters. Here she goes, but not over she goes. It's down, and didn't look as if the technique was very, very smooth there at all.
No, she didn't really keep... Her curve just seemed a little bit wobbly to me. She didn't really put a lot of pressure through that curve, and that gives you that speed to be able to elevate you over the bar.
So over to you, Yuliya Levchenko, the 25-year-old who has been dominating this event in recent years. Double world champion from Beijing and London.
And again, there's a pole vault going on in the background, the 6:01, so she's definitely not going to go right now. Here we go.
Let's see if Piotr Lisek can get over at 6:01. It's his second attempt. And again, he's not even close to executing his vault at all. Well, eyes turn from the pole vault arena to the high jump. Yuliya Levchenko, first attempt at 1.95 meters, sails over. Poetry in motion from Levchenko.
Yeah, very easy. She seems like she's got quite a short approach, but she does actually bring quite a lot of speed into the bar, and that's what you need. Very nice clearance.
So to the men's 400 meters, unlike the women, we have just one race here. Dariusz Kowaliuk, I can tell you, is not running in lane 1. That is empty, so he won't be running, but we do have some quality elsewhere. Let's have a look at the competitors. Well, here's Neri Brenes of Costa Rica, 32 years of age now, but he did win the World Indoor Championship back in 2012 in Istanbul. 6 years ago now. Lugalin Santos of the Dominican Republic was an Olympic silver medalist in London in the same year that Brenes won his World Indoor title. Pavel Maslak of the Czech Republic, first man from that country ever under 46 seconds indoors, a national record of 45.24 seconds, which he set in Poland while winning the World Indoor Championship here in 2014. Luka Janezik and Rafael Omelko complete the lineup, just lanes 2 to 6 in use. Battle should be between Brenes, Santos and Maslach. Here we go. So away they go in the men's 400 metres. Quick start by Neri Brenes on the inside lane. He's already up on the shoulders of Lugelin Santos with that distinctive hair tied up in a bun. Also going well in lane 4 is Pavel Maslach, who's coming through now in the centre of your picture, and Rafał Omelko is also going well, the tall figure wearing all blue and representing Poland. But it's Maslach at the moment leading them and looking as if he means business here. Santos is a long way behind. Second place at the moment is Janezik of Poland, but Pavel Maslach has run a really good race here. Janezik trying to get back at him. Oh, Janezik passes him. Well, it's a surprise win for the Pole. Luka Janezik of Slovenia has tipped Pavel Maslach to victory in the 400 metres. Well, a man whose personal best this season was 46.02 has won 100th of a second outside that. But that was a really strong run after Maslach set the pace. Second attempt, meanwhile, in the pole vault, for third attempt, I should say, I beg your pardon, for Lisek in the pole vault. Last chance to clear 6 metres and 1 centimetre. Oh, better attempt than the previous 2, but not quite. But you just sense that one day it might come for him.
Yeah, that was a much better attempt. His first 3 strides were a lot sharper, the middle of the run a lot more dynamic. He really attacked that box where he was going to plant the pole. It just is a little too much for him today, but like you said, I think it's to come.
Well, he's had a great season so far indoors. He's won the World Indoor Tour handsomely with a couple of victories already behind him. He's been terrific and given us huge entertainment.
So he can rest easy. He's with the wild card,
yep,
off to the World Indoor Champs.
Exactly. Meanwhile, this is a third attempt for Yulia Levchenko. She's seen Levchenko go over at this height of 1.95 m. Can she stay with her? No way. That was a complete wipeout, really, and Levchenko has won a 36th consecutive competition courtesy of that failure.
When you watch Levchenko run, for me, her hips, her pelvis, there's too much movement. It needs to be fixed and it needs to stay fixed. That keeps the penetration of the speed going in the right direction.
Meanwhile, in the triple jump, Christian Napoles, the young Cuban, in his second attempt.
Yes, I mean, he looks, to me, a little bit heavy. I've never seen this jumper before. He looks a little bit heavy on the runway. You know, you have to carry some muscle. Triple jump's a power event, but he looks a little heavy. He actually gets off that final phase, that jump phase, and you look at that lovely free leg and he reaches up really high. But for me, the run-up's just a little laboured.
16 meters 90 is good enough for the lead, though, for Napoles. Here's the result you've just seen of the 400 meters. Luka Janezic left it late, but came home in 46.03, I should say. Pavel Maslach behind him in 46.17, and then season's best for Lugelin Santos and Rafał Omelko Brenes, who started very quickly, disappointingly fifth. Maria Levchenko already has victory in the bag in the high jump, but being the competitor she so brilliantly is. She's not going to rest on her laurels. She's going to keep on going, and her latest height is 1.97 meters, having a good look at the bar. This is her first attempt at that height, a personal best of 2.04 meters, so she's 7 centimeters below what she's jumped in the past.
And that's why she looks so relaxed. And if you watch her on her approach, just watch her hips, watch her pelvis, and watch how much more fixed they are than the previous jumper. This is what you need. You want to keep that penetration of speed coming all the way through, so that when you then drive your knee up to get over the bar, speed plus height will get you over it.
And she put it all into practice. Yes, indeed, she can. Effortless and clear. 1.97 meters for the reigning world champion.
Yeah, it looked clean, it looked good. She does a really interesting thing with her arm, which is, I guess, the penultimate, the setup for the jump. But it just looks quite exaggerated for me. Not as smooth in her arms, but everything else very smooth, attacks the bar really well, easy peasy.
It's a wonderful talent that she has, and she can relax just for a little bit. She's in a class of her own. She's the only jumper clear at the last two heights. 1.97 is now the benchmark.
And I can see that the hurdles are being put out, so this might be give her a little bit of problems, because her run-up has to come over the 60-meter straight. So if the hurdles are going to go on, they're going to have to be a little bit more careful.
Confirmation that Piotr Lisek was 21 centimeters better than the rest of the field in the pole vault. The pole delighting the home crowd. Couldn't quite get over at 6:01, but a long way ahead of Shawn Barber and Konstantinos Philippidis. And as a result, Lisek is the winner of the World Indoor Tour pole vault. Earlier, Adam Shot delighted the crowd who supported Lisek in the pole vault. They certainly supported him in the 800 meters. He left it very, very late, but he blew away Kipkoech and Kramer. First three all came in, and 1:46.75. Kashot, Kipkoech, Kramer in the 800 meters. Let's go back to the triple jump, and this is Adrian Swiderski of Poland, 16:21 with his third attempt. Can he improve on that? This is his fourth jump.
No, he definitely got a no jump. He knew it, so he didn't bother carrying on with the rest of the jump.
Yeah, the flag was up straight away. I think we could see with the naked eye, actually, from our high position here in this super stadium arena. And as you can see, that was a failure to register a distance. So 16:21 is still his best attempt, and he is in 6th place at the moment. Christian Napoles, the leader, with 16:81, and there's confirmation of how far he was beyond the plasticine.
And as a jumper, you know your run up pretty well, so you know when you're that far over, so why put your body through that stress of doing a hop, a step and a jump? You might as well just run through.
Next up is Karol Hoffman, another Pole. He's just seen Adrian Swiderski no jump. His best so far was in his previous attempt, 16 meters 69. He's currently in 4th place, and he's 11 centimeters behind the man in 3rd, Nelson Evora. Here he comes.
Oh. You know, actually, that run-up wasn't too bad, and his hop and step, I was going to say, were really nice. But I think that sometimes when you have such a big hop, it's really then hard to get out of the step into the jump. So sometimes you'll see a lot of athletes are brought in that last phase just because they did too much of a big hop that they can't actually handle.
There's so much to get right in the triple jump, isn't there?
There is so much to get right, but there's so many phases you can also improve on.
Yeah, absolutely. Spoken like a true athlete. Taking a positive rather than a negative view.
Definitely. My coach was a world-class triple jumper, and my training partner used to be Philip Sidewell, so I've been around it quite a lot.
And Phillips, great competitor. World record holder, of course, in the triple jump is still Jonathan Edwards from 1995 outdoors, of course. Here's Nelson Evora, the Portuguese former world champion from 2008. Highlighted there, his best effort so far, 16 meters 80.
For me, again, like in the pole vault, the first 3 strides were just not clean. His hips were not as high as they needed to be. But actually, I quite like the dynamicness of his landings in his hop and his step. If you look at this hop, really extends. Nice step, not too bad jump, but because he didn't set up the first 3 strides very well, he didn't carry the speed through into that jump phase.
Away first time, Dukovic got off to a good start. Lindley just outside her, and Pedis is also going well. Oh, safely through. Clean start. Talley is away well. So too is Plotitsina, but Talley is coming through now, and the Belarusian is going to win this by a distance. Plotitsina was second. And that is a terrific run by Alina Talley. Well, those were the semi-finals, and this is the lineup for the final itself of the women's 60 meters. It could be a cracking race. Talley, Pedersen and Dukovic all in the center there. Plotitsina also ran well in qualifying for this final. Here they come. Had a couple of full starts on the presentation front. Some of the athletes unfamiliar with this new and splendid concept of getting introduced to the crowd from the center rather than from the blocks. Here is Lindsay Lindley representing Nigeria, huge smile on her face. And Pamela Dukovic, third only to the great Sally Pearson and Dawn Harper-Nelson for a bronze medal at the World Championships last summer. Here is Anna Plotitsina of Ukraine. And a comfortable winner of her heat, the Norwegian Isabel Pedersen. Personal best of 7.95. And Alina Talley was also a heat winner. She'll be in lane 5 alongside Pedersen for this women's 60-meter hurdles final. Five hurdles in front of the athletes as the crowd awaits this final.
Actually, Talley is now coached by Lauren Seagrave, who interestingly used to coach Tiana Bartoletta when she won some of those gold medals in the long jump.
We saw her, didn't we, in Karlsruhe, Bartoletta, in the long jump and in the 60 meters. Olympic champion Bartoletta from Rio. It's all about the competitors in the 60 meters hurdles now. And we've got some quality. Dukovic, Pedersen, Talley and Plotitsina expected to be the main contenders.
Hey.
Away they go. Pedersen got up well. Dutkovic has pulled up. In fact, there's a false start there. The gun went for a second time. There was clearly some sort of movement, maybe. So somebody is in danger, perhaps, of being disqualified. We're looking at Alina Talay here.
And it's interesting because we haven't seen hardly any false starts over this World Indoor Tour, which has been great. So,
well, good.
Tiny twitch maybe by Talay, but I don't think that would have.
It's not necessarily a disqualification. It could be that she's just wobbled the mechanism and that it's faulty rather than false. We'll have to wait and see. The official will brandish a card. A red card if there is a disqualification. A green would mean that it was faulty and that no one was to blame. Talay looks nervous and she has been disqualified. So Alina Talay, winner of her heat from Belarus, is remonstrating with the officials. She has been disqualified.
It was such a tiny jitter. It was hardly noticeable. So if she's disqualified, she's going to be very disappointed with that, especially leading into the World Championships in a few weeks' time.
Well, she waves to the crowd. It was very marginal, I agree, but she had a look on the computer with the track official at the start line, and there's the resigned air of someone who is going to have to accept their fate. She walks across the back of your screen. Lane 5 is empty, and we have another attempt to start the 60-meter hurdles final. This one's clean, and Pedersen's gone off hard. Dutkovic is coming through now, though. It's Pamela Dutkovic who's got it from Pedersen. Winning time is 7.85 seconds, and the bronze medalist from the World Championships outdoors wins the 60-meter hurdles with a terrific run, holding off Isabel Pedersen. Super run by Pamela Dutkovic.
Yeah, it's been rounded down to 7.85. You know, she looked really happy with that. She's going to have a tough job at the World Champs because you've got such good American runners, but I think that she's good enough. Right now she's ranked number 4 on the world list, and I think she could be the one that could upset those American runners that are ranked in the top 1, 2 and 3.
Yeah, good start, and pretty smooth over all the barriers there, slightly to the right of the lane, but very, very good run indeed.
Yeah, she'll have to be careful of that. As you can see, she's kind of touching the lane, and you do not want to go into another lane because you don't want to get disqualified for something like that.
There's one disqualification already in the hurdles, and wouldn't want another. Here the result then, Pamela Dutkovic, the world outdoor bronze medalist, winning in 7.85. Isabel Pedersen, the only other under 8 seconds. That's a personal best for her of 7.94, and there they are. Enjoying the limelight.
Yeah, I'm pretty sad that Talay did get disqualified. I did speak to her coach, and I'm not sure if he's here today, but they were deciding whether or not he was going to come to this competition with her or let her do it alone. So it'd be interesting if he didn't come. Maybe that's why there was a little bit of a twitchy start.
A bouquet for a lucky girl in the crowd from Pamela Dutkovic. That'll make her day. Wow, it's quite a souvenir. Nelson Evora tries to get the crowd going in the triple jump. It's his 5th attempt of the competition. There he goes.
Was there a white flag? I'm not quite sure. Let's see. It looked like a no jump, but maybe he just got a very good jump on the board.
No, he's okay. It's 16 meters 77. But
so no improvement.
No improvement. 16.80, his previous best. Meanwhile, here's Lasitsken in the high jump, her 2nd attempt at 2 meters. She's jumped that height 4 times already this season, including a 2.04, so she's capable of it. Here she goes. It's come down.
It was pretty close. It wasn't a bad attempt. I read that she He's trying not to feel the pressure of having this winning streak, this, like you said before, 35 now, this makes 36 winning streak, and not to take that type of pressure on. And she also said that they asked whether or not she would be going for 205, whether she could do it today. She said she doesn't think about this the day before a competition. She takes it step by step with her coach. Very good way of doing it.
2 meters, so one left for Levchenko. Meanwhile, in the triple jump, we have the current leader of the competition, who is Christian Napoles of Cuba. Here he goes, attempt number 5 for the 19-year-old. That looked foul to me, Jade, with the naked eye.
Yeah, it was a very flat, he stuck his foot out of the board. You want to get your foot right underneath you so your hips come over your foot, and then that carries the speed through the board a lot better.
There's confirmation of it, quite a long way over the red plasticine mark. So he's kept the lead, but only leading by 10 centimetres, 16.90 with his second attempt, the best so far.
And it looked like a better approach, actually.
Max Hess, the German, will be next to go. Best of 16.34. It's only good enough for 5th place at the moment. He's only actually registered 2 legal jumps out of his previous 4. One was 15.99. Improved that to 16.34. But he's quite a long way behind the top 4.
John, isn't this the same Max Hess that does the long jump and has jumped 8 meters? I think
so.
He's more known as a long jumper. Maybe that's why he's only got a few attempts in so far.
Let's see what he can do in the triple jump.
No, you can tell actually. His run-up is quite nice, and that's from the long jump. But he kind of looked like he needs to get his hips a little bit higher, and he moved his head a few strides out, and then at the board he throws his head back. You can't do that in the triple jump. You really need to keep that speed going through the board and all those phases.
Here goes Levchenko. 2 meters, the height. Levchenko has been over this height many times. Can she do it tonight in Torun? Final attempt for the world champion. He's been way better than anyone else this evening. Can she go higher? Oh, not quite. The crowd held their breath. Levchenko held her breath, and in the end she's failed at 2 meters, but she's won the high jump yet again. 36 consecutive tournament victories for Maria Levchenko.
It looks like 205 on the actual scoreboard down there, so I thought she was actually going for 205.
Well, you can see the hurdles have been placed out for the men's final. Pedis will be joining us in just a couple of moments. Bogdan Chornomaz of Ukraine. No heats in this one, of course. Straight through to the final. Dominik Bochenek representing Poland. This is Artur Noga, another Pole. There are 4 home athletes in the field today. Noga's run 7.79 this season. This is arguably the strongest of the Poles. Damian Czeskia, 25-year-old. Season's best of 7.70. Dawid Zebrowski, has run a personal best of 7.77 this year, so he's improving all the time. This is the main man, though, the bronze medalist from the World Championships in London. He won the World Indoor Tour event in Dusseldorf in 7.64 seconds. Milan Trajkovic, a Serbian-born Cypriot. His family emigrated to Cyprus during the Troubles in his native Yugoslavia, as it was. He was third in Dusseldorf in 7.68 seconds. So Mikkel has not started, so the lane 2 will be empty, but there's your lineup. Bargi in 4 and Trajkovic in 5 should be the main contenders here. Well, we had a full start in the women's race. Can the men get off cleanly? Can Bargi enhance his burgeoning reputation? World Championship outdoor medal in the pocket. Just a slight delay before we complete what is the third last track event of the evening. Just the 2 60-meter races still to come, but we're over the hurdles first. Green card suggests, or tells you that there was a problem outside any of the athletes' remit, so nobody is penalised. They're all still there. Lane 2 empty. Mikkel having withdrawn before the race. This is a full start. Might have been Bargi, possibly, who went off too quick. We were looking at Cheskia. It was 3 or 4, I think. There they are. Well, for the second hurdles final running, we've got a full start. Let's see if this clears it up for us. There's a twitch there. And my initial instinct was that it might have been Bargi, and I fear I might be right.
Yeah, it does look like it might have been. He looked much more noticeable than in the women's hurdles race.
Well, the question is whether it's false or faulty.
That's definitely a false
start. Yeah, I would agree. So he is hands on hips waiting. There will be an official coming across in a moment to clarify exactly what's going on. They're having another look at it, checking the timing, checking the blocks.
It'll be sad if it is him, because he's by far the best in this field.
Yeah, he's a World Indoor Championship finalist from Portland in 2016. Now, here comes the official, who will explain and tell us just exactly what has gone on here. He's got a yellow card, which means it's a warning rather than a dismissal. It's lane 5, Milan Trajkovic, who gets the warning, but, well...
I guess Bargi will be definitely
relieved.
So relieved.
Look with the naked eye as if it was Bargi who got up
Absolutely
first. But
was.
clearly the officials felt it was Trajkovic, but not significantly enough to warrant, rather like Alina Talay, a red card. But Trajkovic, that'll just add to his nerves. Bargi there in the picture, concentrating hard as we attempt to go again in the final of the men's 60 metres hurdles. This time it's clean. Bargi, oh no, it's not. thought it was, but then the second gun fired. Once again, the track officials at the start there are going to be busy. They've got another situation to analyze here. There they are. Let's see if we can sort it out here. It didn't look to me as if anyone went off dramatically early. They've already had a yellow card. Well, they're going to have a hard look. The crowd are waiting to see what's going on. I couldn't see with the naked eye anyone concisely braking early. Let's have another look.
No, well, on this angle you can't see. Maybe lanes.
Norga, Arthur Norga in 7, yeah, but I'm not sure how early he was. His head went up quickly. He's still there wearing the distinctive black socks. There he is. Nervous wait for him again, and once more the officials are deep in conversation. Now he's got a red card in his hand here. And Norga is out. 7. So
yeah,
he goes, like he's not happy.
Yeah, he just looked like he just came up, his head came up. You have to stay as still as possible in the blocks. The tiniest movement, pressure on those pads, the variation of pressure on the pad will give a false start result.
I'd have to say, the officials are seeing something that perhaps we're not, and certainly the athletes aren't. Talay in the women. Let's have a look here. Well, he moves his head. Just see his left hand picks up there, but I don't know. To me, it looks quite harsh. Yellow, maybe, but it's very, very difficult.
The blocks are very, very sensitive, and it is such a tight. You know, he didn't look like he moved. It looked very, very tight. So I can understand why he's actually, you know, making a demonstration here.
Well, he's demonstrating with the officials, and well, a race which originally had 8 starters. We've had 1 non-starter, and has lane 8 gone as well. Botchenek, they've both, I think, been disqualified. Here, let's have a see what what the officials are looking at there. And I think the men in the 2 outside lanes, Norga and Botchenek, have both been disqualified. The athletes don't often see that view of it. We're very privileged to have got down there and got a great shot of that, which appeared to confirm it. Difficult job track officials have. Well, and then there were 5. 2 disqualifications and a non-starter in the final of the men's 60 metres hurdles. Finally, they're away. And Balázs and Trajkovic are neck and neck at the moment. Trajkovic might just be, oh, it's a blanket, but I think Trajkovic just got it from Bargi. It was very close, and after all the drama that preceded the race itself, we had a very, very close finish. Trajkovic is smiling. He's got it in 7:59, 100th of a second in front of Balázs Bargi. He's delighted. What a strange race. It ended up with 5 competitors, and the winner is the Cypriot, Milan Trajkovic.
Well, Bargi's best time is 7:61, and actually he didn't get out very well at all, and this is pretty close to probably a season's best, so it would have been a better run if all that kind of kerfuffle at the beginning didn't happen. It looked like he just wasn't really mentally in it, I guess, if it would have gone off without a hitch from the beginning.
Bargi hitting a hurdle very hard, the penultimate one you saw there, and that knocked him off his stride. Trajkovic was smoother and just about able to hang on.
Yeah, I don't think Bargi's very happy with that at all. But as you say, Trajkovic he's happy. He's the winner.
Well, you saw the smile, and here's confirmation that Milan Trajkovic, the Serbian-born Cypriot, winning season's best for him, but only 100th of a second between the first 2. Damian Czeskier of Poland, who was a distant 3rd. Well, this is the final jump of the triple jump. Christian Napoles leads with 16 meters 90, so he's won the event. Can he go better with his last attempt, the 19-year-old Cuban? I think it might be a red flag. We'll have to wait and see. He salutes the crowd. I don't think he believes it's a better jump than his best attempt, which came in round 2. 16.71. He wins the triple jump, 16 meters 90.
Yes, Cuba's very well known for their jumps. And, you know, he's very young. He's got lots of talent, and I think he's going to do well in the years to come. Not a bad jump. I would have liked to have seen a 17-meter jump at least.
Here's the confirmation. You said it. Cuba reigns supreme in the triple jump, 16 meters 90, a personal best for Christian Napoles. They've got another kid called Jordan Diaz who won the world under 18 triple jump, just a meter down on Jonathan Edwards' world record. So the Cubans have been absolutely fantastic in the triple jump.
Zwycięzcą tej konkurencji został Słoweniec Yuliya Levchenko. 46-04.
Next up, we'll have the penultimate track final. The women's 60 meters. Maria Lasitskene looks on, her job done in the high jump. And there are some Eva Svoboda fans who will be hoping she can produce the goods for Poland. Away they go, and Svoboda, the local favourite, is just in front at the moment of Okparebo, and Svoboda wins the race. Popular win for the Poles. Talou up quickly, Asher Smith is there as well. Could be a battle between the two of them. Talou just stretching her legs now, and Talou gets it from Dina Asher Smith. Well, you saw the action from the earlier semi-finals there, and what a good field it is. Marie Talou of the Ivory Coast, a double outdoor silver medalist in 100 and 200 meters from London. Eva Svoboda, the 20-year-old Pole, who they hope will become a big star. Dina Asher Smith, a relay medalist at the World Championships with Great Britain. They'll be entering the arena very shortly. Here they come. First of all, it's Anna Kilbaszynska of Poland, who's run a season's best personal best this year of 7:23. Next up, it's Shironi Calvert-Powell of Jamaica. Delighted to be here. Simone Facey is another from the great sprinting nation in the Caribbean. This is Esin Okparebo of Norway. And Dina Asher Smith. She's won medals in relays and as an individual junior. Imani Lensiko is her fellow Brit. Here's the 20-year-old Pole that'll get the biggest cheer of all, Eva Svoboda, who will run in lane 4 alongside the Ivory Coast's Maria Talou, who was beaten by Tori Bowie in the 100 metres in London and Daphne Schippers in the 200 metres. So this should be some race. Loaded with talent in all 8 lanes in the final of the women's 60 metres. Away first time, and Svoboda is off well. Talu is going well also, and Dina Asher-Smith, it's between these three. Talu gets it. Asher-Smith second, Svoboda might just have got third. Very, very close race indeed. The winning time, 7.11 seconds. Marie Talu of the Ivory Coast, the double silver medalist from the World Championships in London, wins the 60 metres, just about from Dina Asher-Smith, who was 300ths behind her, and Svoboda was also in contention.
Wow. Talu got a bullet start. She's lighting out on the block. She looks like she really wants this. She's digging very deep to get this. Dina Asher-Smith had a great run. I thought she might take it. Lovely girl, really good. She's improved her season's best. As you see from this front shot, Talu really wants it. Look at the face, grimacing. Very good technique, very powerful in her shoulders. She really wanted that. But Dana, very proud of her. Lovely, lovely girl. And I really hope that she does well at the World Indoors.
She does well in her history degree as well. She combines her studies with being a top-class athlete. Had to settle for second. Talu was too good. Actually, Parebo of Norway just pipped Eva Svoboda, the pole, for third place. 7:17 against 7:18, so it's very, very close, and only 700ths of a second separated the top four in that 60 metres final. But Eva Svoboda is only 20, and she's got a smile. There could be a lot more to come from her.
And Marie Talu, actually, I think her season's best is 7:07, and it's tied world lead with her countryman, or countrywoman, I should say, Muriel Ahori.
Yep.
And I think she's run 7:07 as well. So two ladies from the Ivory Coast have run extremely fast, and they top the world at the moment.
There you are then, Marie Talu of Côte d'Ivoire in a fantastic race. Look how close those times are. Dina Asher-Smith ran her hard for a season's best, and then season's best all the way down to 7th. Parebo just pipping Svoboda by the slenderest of margins to take third place. So the night is nearly done, but not quite. We have one more final to come. The promoter in the centre there of the event. Thank you very much to you, sir, for putting on such a magnificent night for us in this beautiful historic city. Torun. If you ever get the chance, come and see it. It's magnificent. We mentioned it before. It's the birthplace of Nicholas Copernicus, who revolutionized astronomy. It's also very famous for producing high-quality gingerbread.
And I have to say, it was worth the 2.5, 3-hour ride from the airport.
It's a long way from Warsaw. Anyway, we have the final event of the night, and it's going to be the men's 60 metres final. They're just making their way away. What they do is they arrange their blocks early so that that's all done. And then they go across and will be introduced to the crowd from the arch, which is right opposite us at the Arena Torun. 5,000 crowd here, has been thoroughly entertained all evening. We've seen some great performances, seen some surprising results. Helena Beery beaten in the 1,500 metres, for example. We've seen Maria Lasitskene continue her dominance in the high jump. A terrific pole vault competition as well, won by a Pole. Adam Schott victorious in the 800 metres. Been a fantastic night, and we have one more event to go. Here is Piotr Lisek, who has qualified via a wild card for the World Championships, virtue of winning the pole vault. He had a fantastic competition over all of these World Indoor Tour events. The shot put, the pole vault and the triple jump have reached their conclusion. The remainder will go on to Glasgow Sunday week. But Piotr Lisek is the champion of the IAAF World Indoor Tour in the pole vault.
You know, this World Indoor Tour is such an amazing thing for the athletes. It gets them inspired, and it gives them something to focus on for the indoor season, similar to the Diamond League Outdoors.
So we are coming into the final event of tonight. Away this time properly, and Smelly has got away pretty well, but coming through very strongly indeed is Fischer. That's a terrific run by him, 6.72. Away they go, great start by Collins, but Volko's coming through well. This is a very, very strong run by Volko, who wins it quite comfortably. And it all adds up to these 8 names on the start line for the 60 meters final. No Kim Collins this time, he failed to qualify, but Jan Volko looks potentially the man to beat alongside Andrew Fischer in the 2 center lanes. So Sydney Siam representing Zambia, as he was in his heat, is in lane 1. Polish contender Maciej Brzezinski will be in lane 8. Another Pole, Karol Kwiatowski, personal best of 6.84 set this year. And Piotr Mitka is another who will get home support. He's run 6.81 in 2018. Kevin Smelly, the hugely experienced Canadian, quite a way off his personal best this season. He's a 6.60 man in an event which has entered a new era thanks to Christian Coleman. Ryan Shields represents Jamaica. It wouldn't be a sprint final without a Jamaican. But here's the man who looks so good, the Slovakian Jan Volko. He tore through his heat and won it very comfortably, as indeed did this man, albeit with a great time, Andrew Fischer. He's run a season's best of 6.62. It was slower than that in his heat. But those 8 will line up as the crowd look forward to the climax of this wonderful 2-hour meeting. Away first time, Volkov is off powerfully, Fischer alongside him, Smelly is there too. It looks like Fischer and Volkov absolutely neck and neck. If I had to guess, I think Volkov, by the thickness of a vest, might just have got there in the last 5 meters or so. Fischer looks at the scoreboard, as does Volko. Volko's got it, 6.57. Fischer just 200ths behind him. Ryan Shields of Jamaica was third. A really, really good battle between the 2 men wearing orange vests in the centre. But it's that man, Volkov, who just at the end had enough to pip him.
Yeah, he got out really well. A little bit tense in the shoulders for me. Head and, as you can see, pushing very far forward. Not the greatest technique, nice knee lift. He really wanted that. Very interesting to see a European beating a Jamaican. What do you think?
Well, it's nice to see European sprinters mixing it with the elite, which generally, of course, come from the United States and the Caribbean. Volko very focused there. Fischer dipped, but by that time, Volko had by a fraction, 200ths of a second only, managed to get up at the line ahead of him and claim victory. So this is the confirmation, a personal best of Jan Volko, 6.57. Fischer ran a season's best, 6.59. Shields a 10th of a second behind. Kevin Smelly was in 4th. There's Volko enjoying his rather leisurely lap of honour. It's been a wonderful night in Torun. Thank you very much indeed for joining. It's been an absolute pleasure to bring you these events on the road to the World Championships in Birmingham. Poland, you've been great hosts. We've enjoyed every minute of it. From myself and from Jay Johnson, a very, very good night from Torun in Poland.